in 1.1 and 1.2 right now, which is what our quiz will be on Friday. We're going to I think you have a worksheet and then grab one. If you turn it over to the other side, that's where I put like a title for you for the note. Okay? And then we'll turn it over and do the homework in a minute. So please, guys, just stay with me. I'm not going to take very long. You'll get this done in class. No worries, okay? I told you guys that we would use the book sometimes. Sometimes I'd be handing you stuff. Here's a moment of me handing you something, okay? Shh. Excuse me, guys. Okay, let's put the phones off of our desk, earbuds out of our ears. There's no reason to have them in while I'm teaching because you won't be able to hear me anyway. Oh, wait. Outside, please. Okay. As a reminder, I'm doing a notebook check tomorrow. Remember what my notebook check is going to look like. Do you have a 3-ring binder? You're good. That's a notebook check. You're all getting 10 points for having your 3-ring binder tomorrow. You and I will talk. I know you're going to have a delay in yours. Yes. Okay? So guys, please. As you can see already, we are in the book sometimes, but even yesterday we had notes inserted into the book pages. You can't just carry around that book. It's not going to work for you, okay? You have to have room in a binder where you can insert pages because they should be in order, all right? Tomorrow I'm going to do that, so y'all check to make sure you guys have a binder. 3-ring binder. Is that it? And then I will give you guys another worksheet tomorrow, which is your review for the quiz on Friday. Okay? So you're going to have no surprises on Friday. It's going to look just like the quiz or the review that I give you tomorrow with the numbers changed. We're starting off really, really simple. Easier, I mean, say it like that. Okay? So does anybody have any questions for me about any of that I just said? No? Okay. So slope-intercept form is a concept that we should already know how to do. That's why I'm calling it a review. But in case we don't, I'm going to show you. Shh. And this is definitely going to be on the quiz. I think there's 4 questions on the quiz where you have to graph using slope-intercept form. So let's review what slope-intercept form is. Oops, I got frozen. That's slope-intercept form. Okay? What's M mean? What's M? Slope. What about B? What is B? Good. Y-intercept. Hence the name. Slope-intercept form. We've already talked about what intercepts are, where a line crosses an axis. So this number is exactly the number where we're going to cross the y-axis, y-intercept. So we really only need to talk about slope. Slope is either positive or negative. Okay? You either have a positive slope or a negative slope. That's it. So it's really important that you understand the difference. So here's one of the things I want to show you. And so in my years and years of teaching slope-intercept form, there's still students even at this level that get confused with which way they go on the line. Is it rise or run and all that stuff? And if you get that, that's great. You understand it. But I just want to show you guys a really easy way of knowing which direction your slope goes in. So it could be this one or this one, right? This is a positive slope, and this is a negative slope, okay? Now I'm sure that makes sense to all of you. So when it comes time to graph something, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's just do one example. You're going to identify the M and the B just today. Okay, I want just to see that you can identify those numbers. Going forward, anytime you have to graph a line, I won't care if you write those, okay? And let's just sketch. I know you guys don't have graph paper. We're not graphing a perfect graph here. I just want you guys to see how did you slope to make your life super easy, okay? All right, so we have 2 numbers to put on this graph, the M and the B. There's only 2 numbers. 2 points makes a line. You're good with just 2 points. You can put more, and I'll show you how, but just 2 points is enough. And we always graph B first. B comes before M in the alphabet. We're going to graph it first. Okay? Remember, B is your y-intercept. Here's your y-axis. Find where 1 is. Positive 1 is right there. So the first point you should always put on a graph is on the y-axis. It might be above 0, meaning positive, or below 0, meaning negative. Okay? Half done. Half. Now, if this is a positive slope, our graph should rise. Our line's going to look something like that. So think about where I'm going to put my slope. I can do one of two things. I can go up and to the right or down and to the left, or both. It doesn't matter. So instead of memorizing rise over run, if you've ever been confused by it, just think I know what positive looks like. I'm going up a mountain. That's rising, positive. I know that I can either go up 1, right 2, and I can do that as many times as I want. I can go up 1, right 2 forever and ever. Or I can go down 1 and which way? Left 2. Notice they're all in line with my positive slope. But really, I only need 2 points. With 2 points, you can connect a line really easily, and that's all that's required. But sometimes I like to put a lot more just to make my line look prettier. We don't need rulers. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. But you get the idea. So if it had been negative, I could have gone down and to the right or up and to the left. So I'll write the rise over run stuff for you just in case you really want to see it. So if you always go to the right with your denominator, you can just look at the sign and either go up for positive, down, or for negative. But I think students get confused by that. I always will say, just think about which way your points should be. If you know roughly which way it's tilting positive, you know to go up and to the right, down and to the left, okay? And so I'll show you what I mean on that worksheet. So this is all you're doing today. So if you get this done and you're like, have a lot of time, which some of you will, go back and see if there's anything you haven't finished prior to this. Notice I am labeling all of your worksheets and everything with a number. You are doing the same thing. If you flip that over, let's do the first one together. I even made it so easy that they're in slope-intercept form for you. You don't even have to rearrange them to make them look like this. We are starting out really, really slower. Okay, so do me the favor of identifying M and B. And I always model for you what work to show in an assignment. Okay, so if I'm showing it here, that means you should show it on your paper. And I apologize, the graphs didn't show up so great. If you are like a perfectionist and you want a piece of graph paper from me, I will happily give you a piece of graph paper and then you can just write on the graph paper. So just remind me in a second and I will. Let's just go over this real quick. So my slope is -3, my y-intercept is 4. Just pulling them out of there. Now, I have 2 numbers, but one other thing that's really important is my slope requires 2 movements, right? Either up and to the right or down and to the left or whatever. So if my slope isn't a fraction, what can I do? Put a 1 under it. Can't we make anything a fraction just by putting a 1 under it? Yeah, done. I don't care if you write it or not. It doesn't matter. Okay? We should know that. And it's very hard to read these graphs. They've been reproduced so many times, so I apologize again. I will give you graph paper if you want it. Or you can kind of estimate. You can see it a little better on my P. So here's my B is 4. And then I know I want it to be a negative slope, so it's going to have to go like this. So I can either go up and to the left or down and to the right. So if we call this 4, I'm either going to go, I want it to look like this. It's falling left to right. I'm either going to go down 3, right 1, or up 3, left 1. I'm so mad. I took the time to print these for you. Yeah. Who said wait? You don't need a straight edge. There's a better looking. Say it again. So B is 4, and I went down 3, right 1, or I can go up 3, left 1. You're good? All right, does anybody want graph paper? You do. No problem. I will deliver it to you. Guys, to get this done, make sure you understand it. Graph paper, graph paper, graph paper. Graph paper. don't know, but those graphs didn't show up.
That's fine. That works, right?
That works. It should look roughly like that.